Good morning and welcome to this morning's Wednesday class. If you'd like to say hi in the chat, put where you're tuning in from today. We've got Sarah who's helping out on the chat. Thank you, Sarah. And we can't believe it, but we just realized that it is our 200th class. So today it's coming up to 4 years of us running these classes. So today is our 200th class. And so just having a moment to celebrate that and that we're still going and we're going to keep going. So don't worry, we're not going anywhere. So nice to see you all in the chat. Oh, no. Oh, so nice. So sorry to hear you. You just fell downhill and badly twisted your ankle. So take it easy today. All of these exercises can be done also sitting down on a chair or on the floor. And yeah, it's so exciting. I just can't believe it's been 200 classes. Where has this time gone? So let's do our check-in, see how everybody's doing this morning. If you want to find yourself a comfortable space, you can sit, stand, or even lie down for this exercise. So coming to a comfortable position. And we just do our check-in. So starting from the top of your head, just notice if there's any areas that feel a little bit weak or a little bit tense. You feel like there's too much energy somewhere where it's become a little bit stagnated, or if there's not enough energy somewhere, it's just where we want to focus the energy. We're just going to do a scan from the top to the bottom. Just notice how you are as we start today's class. So I like to do this just from the top of my head, scanning down on my neck, shoulders, my arms, elbows, hands, and come down to the chest, abdomen, the back, the shoulders. You might feel like one side is like a little bit tighter than the other, which means that maybe one side is a little bit higher. Just notice how it feels. Coming down to your hips. Do they both feel the same? And down your legs, knees, ankles, feet. Good. Just notice if there's any areas that felt a bit tight, felt a bit weak. And now we'll check in with our 3 burning spaces. So just placing your hands or taking your attention to the space below your navel. This is your lower burning space. And just notice how it feels inside. You might think of a picture. You might think of a sound or a color or just a feeling, an emotion sometimes. Just getting connected to this lower burning space. Good. Now you're going to bring your hands or your attention to the space above your navel. Here, placing your hands over your digestive organs. And again, just taking your focus, taking your attention inside. And just notice how it feels here. Is there any difference between the lower and the middle? And again, is there a color or a sound or a picture? Or sometimes it's like an emotion. Then you're going to bring your hands up to your chest area, over your heart and lungs. This is your upper burning space. And again, taking your attention inside. And just notice how it is. Notice if there's any difference between the other burning spaces and this one. Good. And then you can jot it down if you want to. Just notice how they feel. And then we'll do a quick poll just to see where everybody's up to. Which burner do you want to work on most today from doing this check-in? What would suit you best? Interesting. So we have, okay, we had just the middle and the upper burner. One vote for the lower burner. Oh, the lower burner becoming a bit more popular. Okay, it is neck and neck with the middle and the upper burner. That is totally fine. We can do that. We can do both. So let's get moving. What we're going to do to begin with is just give ourselves a gentle stretch. Really good, just to help tonify the meridians. So we're going to start just turning your shoulders from side to side. Just leading with your shoulders, keeping your hips and your knees and your feet soft. And just turning from side to side. Such a good way to start the day. I imagine we are wringing out the spine, getting the energy flowing, and starting to look over each shoulder. Bringing a bit more of a twist. And you can imagine the top of your head is being lifted up to the sky. And this is great, especially for this midsection. Really feel it ringing out, and hopefully everybody who wanted to focus on the middle burner can start to feel this. It was also the one that I had the most amount of, what to call it, not stagnation, but definitely the most amount of holding was in my midsection. So this is feeling really good, really great to help disperse energy. This is really good if you're feeling at all like funky, you're not sure what to do, your energy feels a little bit off. Just this simple movement of twisting, turning from side to side really helps get the energy moving in your whole body. Can be a good way to start, especially if you don't feel like exercising. Okay, and gently coming back to center. And now we're going to lift up your hands up to the sky. Feel them being lifted. We're going to come to one side, so dropping one arm and lifting the other straight up to the sky. And as you do that, the other foot can be drawing down towards the earth. So really feeling this stretch in the side body. And bringing the other hand up to join, lifting, and then letting the other hand down. And then we're going to stretch onto the other side. As this hand lifts up towards the sky, the foot is going to reach down towards the earth, just to bring a little bit extra stretch there. Good, bringing both hands up, and again stretching up. Good, and letting that go. And now a really great one to really help open up into the chest is this very simple movement of bringing your hands backwards and forwards. We call it a bit like skiing, but of course it's nothing like skiing. But you can imagine you're in the mountains, in the snowy mountains, doing this movement. So your thumbs are coming up in front of you and then reaching out behind you. And you're going to have your hips, your knees, your ankles very soft and reaching forwards and backwards. Just doing a chant for your chest to open gently. And again, it's a really nice way to start the morning, start your exercises. Really great way, this one, to cultivate energy. The other one was really good at dispersing energy. This is a really great one to bring more energy into your lungs. Really helps open up and tonify the lung channels. And when you're on your own, you can really do this for as long as you like. And just notice if you feel a change. If it feels too strong for you, you're going to stop now and have a little rest. And if it's feeling good, and only if it's feeling good, we're just going to carry on for a few more moments. So opening into the chest. I love to think of myself in the mountains in this moment with this clean, fresh air, full of abundance, with a beautiful view also helps. And again, with this one, we're going to reach our head up to the sky. Just create a bit more space in your vertebrae as you're doing this. Also, just imagine like you're just being suspended from the sky, so your spine is very, very relaxed, just bouncing naturally. A little bounce of the knees for each movement. Good, and coming to a standstill. And just check in with your body, close your eyes. Just catch your breath. How are you doing now? Okay, so now we're going to get everything else involved. We'll start with your right foot, so resting your left foot into the ground, rooting down, really feeling supported through this left foot. And you can lift up your right and just do gentle movements. And of course, if you want to, you can sit down on a chair and have support with this one. You don't need to stand all this time. So stretching the front of the foot, just find those juicy places, any areas that need a little bit more space or opening. Good, now rolling onto the ball of the foot, rolling from one side to the other, massaging front of the foot. Now lean your weight to the side of the foot, the heel, just using this your body weight to give yourself a foot massage. And then turning the ankle in circles, one way and the other way. And giving that a shake out, shaking off your calf, shaking the knee, and then coming into your upper leg. A bit more difficult to do this when you're sitting down, so don't worry. But if you're standing, giving your upper leg a really good shake. Imagine these muscles, the front and the back, are being shaken off. Create more space. And then we're going to see how our hip feels. So if you can lean on a wall or a chair, but bring your right knee up to your chest. Giving this nice stretch to the back of your leg. And then if it's comfortable, you can bring your leg up and out. So creating space in the front of your hip here. Bring your leg across. Again, giving it a shake out. And then placing the foot down onto the floor. Just notice if there's a difference between the right and the left. For me, my right leg feels very wide and spacious, and I can really notice the difference. So let's check in with the other side. Rooting down through the right foot into the earth, feeling very supported. And then coming, stretching the front of the left foot already here. I don't know if you can hear everything cracking. It's creating space, creating movement. I'm going to massage any areas that feel like they need it. And rolling from one side to the other side of the ball of the foot. And here you can really use it to like stretch the toes out, leaning into it. Good. Again, just giving your foot a massage, using body weight to massage the heel of the foot, the side of the foot. And I'm going to rotate the ankle one way and the other way. And then just shaking it off. And keep shaking as you shake out your calf, your knee, and your upper leg. Really giving it a good shake. You can bring your knee up to your chest if that's comfortable. Bring it out to the side and across. Just creating space in this hip joint. Good. Final little shake. And just again, tune in, just check. Do they feel more balanced now? Do they feel equally aligned? Good. Now I'm going to create more space here. This is great, especially for everyone who's really feeling this middle section today. I'm going to start by holding the space, holding your ribs, and taking some deep breaths in. As you breathe in, you should feel your hands being pushed away. And just notice how much space you can create by using your breath, by taking full deep inhales. And bring your hands around to the back. Just notice if the ribs move when you breathe in. And your hands on your back and in the front. Good, creating space here. All these lovely digestive organs. Good. And now one way to really get in there is by rotating you can use your whole arm or just half the arm, but just creating more space by doing this backward motion. Good, like a full backward crawl if that's comfortable for you, or you can do smaller movements. Just feel what feels nice. You can do any which movements that may help you feel like you're getting into the side ribs. You can use your breath, and as you breathe in, you imagine your rib cage is expanding. As you breathe out, your rib cage relaxes. And we'll do it the other way, so coming with a forward crawl. And just if this feels nice for your back, just getting into it, getting into a nice angle that feels good, creating more space, more movement. Good. Now just coming into your shoulders, rotating your shoulders forwards, upwards and backwards. This is great for the whole of your chest, for your shoulder blades, top of your shoulders. As we come up, so allowing your shoulders to come as high as feels good, and then as far back as feels good, and then down, forward, upwards, backwards. Just notice how much movement you can get into this space. Good. Now we're going to do the same, but the other way. So backwards, forwards, down, backwards, upwards, forwards. If it's very tight, it can feel a bit painful, so be gentle with yourself. Now just shaking out your hands. Have a little bob in your knees, shaking out the whole of your arms. Just some kind of breathing, some chicken wings. Create space in your elbows, your wrists, and then flicking at your fingers. Oof. Let go of any tension that you might have been holding in those shoulders. Just release that tension. Good. Have a little shake out, bounce up and down. Good. Now let's have a Let's just spend a little bit of a moment coming to your neck. Check in with your neck. And check in with your SCM muscle. Check in with this muscle that goes across your neck. And how we want it to feel is soft and juicy. So really having this, giving a little squeeze from the top to the bottom. Just encouraging movement here. If it feels a little bit tight or anything that doesn't feel soft, just pressing it. Bring some blood flow, some energy to this area. Good. And having a little shake out of your face. Movement in your face. Good. So how is everybody feeling? Just pop in the chat just to check in how you're all doing. And we are going to share with you the point of the month, the week even. So this coming month we have go back to the beginning. This coming weekend at the Shiatsu College in March, we are going to be looking at the fire element. So we've already covered the fire element, the first pair of meridians with the fire element, the heart and the small intestine. And this coming weekend, we're going to be covering the heart protector and the triple heater. So it's the other meridians of the heart element, of the fire element, sorry. So a little bit more information about the fire element. It is our emotional center. And as we know with the heart, it is also the emotion of the fire element is joy. So this is something to help support our fire element. We can nourish joy in one's life. And I think it's really interesting that it is with the fire element. You know, things traditionally, ways that we would socialize would often be around fire. It would be around, we would cook around fire. We would keep warm around the fire and sing and dance. So it has a really big social element, fire. And obviously it has its very powerful transformative effects. But yeah, I always remember when I think about fire, I think about joy and the time, this kind of social time. Imagine singing, which is also very good for your heart. It's connected with your awareness, with your compassion, and also this thing in Chinese they call the Shen mind. So it's like your spirit, it's where your spirit resides. And so the heart and small intestine, all to do with the emotional center and simulating situations. And we've got the triple heater and the heart protector. We call them the supplementary fire. So they're the ones that support the heart and the small intestine, but they also have amazing functions of their own. So the heart protector and the triple heater are very famous for the emotional protection they give us. So the heart protector is around the heart, and it's almost like there's a buffer. So when things are happening in one's life, as they always do because we're human, as things are happening, it's the heart protector that is protecting your heart on the emotional level in that way. And it also helps us process our emotional environment. So the triple heater is, I always think about it, it's like the body's thermostat. So as we go from the hot to the cold, it helps us be comfortable in all those environments. So as soon as you come in from the heat to the cold, it regulates your body temperature. But I remember it as the one that helps us in a social situation. So you might go from being with the children and then being with the adults, or going into a work environment, or going into speaking with a young person or a very old person. And it's amazing how our voices change or how we behave changes. And so it's also, the triple heater is incredible in that way. So when you notice that people are being basically in a social situation, when they're looking very awkward or don't know what to say or saying the wrong thing, then it's often because of the triple heater is a bit out of balance. So just not being able to change how they are from one social setting to another. So when people are being inappropriate, it's often that it's a triple heater meridian issue. It also allows us protection on all levels. So on every level, on a physical level, it gives us protection. So it helps with our immunity. on an emotional level, as I said, it protects us, and then also on a mental level, and also on a spiritual level. And the interesting thing with the triple heater is that it doesn't really have, even though it has a function, it doesn't have a form. But as we do every class, we check in with the triple heater, and this is what we are talking about. It's these 3 burning spaces: the lower, the middle, and the upper. This is what the triple heater is, and this has a lot to do with how fluids are transformed and used from one burning space to the other. So yeah, it gets quite tricky and in depth, but it's really fascinating how this triple heater works and supports us. So one thing we can do to support the triple heater is to work it and to tonify the channel. So the triple heater is on the outside of the arm, and the heart protector is on the inside of the arm. So today, the point of the week is this triple heater 15. So this point is at the top of, on the top of the shoulder, just behind, and it's amazing. I'm going to show it to you in a moment, but it's called the heavenly crevice. So it's like opening point. It's famous for unbinding the chest and also regulating the Qi. It is really helpful for anything in the local area, so pain in the shoulder, the neck, or the arm. I don't know if you remember this other point. It's a very famous point in Chinese medicine. It's gallbladder 21, which is at the top of the shoulder, which is really great for all these things as well. So they have very similar actions, and it calms and opens the chest. So another one to really help with these emotional states. So let's have a look on ourselves. So triple heater 15, if we imagine like a space from the midline to the outside of the shoulder, halfway between there, and then to the top, you'll find gallbladder 21. This is gallbladder 21. And then just behind there, just one finger behind there, you will find triple heater 15. So I don't know if you're finding that easy at home. You've got the midline, you've got the end of the shoulder, and then halfway between that space at the top is gallbladder 21, and then just behind it is triple heater 15. So we can have a moment just to press this and just think about its actions. And close your eyes if it's comfortable for you. Pressing triple heater 15 really benefits the shoulder, the arm, the chest. And when it talks about unbinding, it's this feeling like if you have anxiety or something's happening in your life, and sometimes the chest can get very tight. You can feel like it's not easy to breathe. So this is such a great point to help relax the chest, or as they say, unbind the chest. And balancing yourself up, so doing both sides. Again, finding this point, it's between the midline and the end of the shoulder, halfway, and then just behind the top there, triple heater 14. Taking some deep breaths as you just have this intention of relaxing the shoulder, relaxing the arm, the chest, and this feeling of opening up the chest. So anybody who wanted to focus on their upper burner today, this is a great point for you. Just feeling the actions of this fantastic point. Good, and when you're ready, I'm going to do a quick working of the whole of the triple heater and the heart protector, just to give us a nice all-rounded effect. So the heart protector Comes from the chest, so we can just work our own chest, just a gentle pressure, working from the midline out to the sides. And the heart protector comes down the inside. Yes, me too, Gillian. So working down inside of the arm, and it's just down this midline. This is the heart protector channel. Working down the midline of the arm, and just a gentle squeeze. Again, these points coming to finish in the middle of the palm here, and then way to the end of the middle finger. You can just do that 3 times. Yeah, if you are feeling this like fluttery feeling or a fullness in the chest, these points are really great. They really help bring the energy away from here, but also very calming, very great when you're working with children are upset. These points are very gentle, work really well, help soothe them. But also as adults, we also need soothing, so great points for us. And then working onto the other side, again, working across the chest, down the inside of the middle of the arm, middle of the palm, and the middle finger. Do that 3 times. Taking some deep breaths if that feels good. So the other one for this, all these levels of protection, is the triple heater. So if you feel like you're coming down with something, as well as the lung channel, which is really good, you can also work this triple heater channel. So just working down the back of the arm and coming down to this finger here, your ring finger. So again, I'm going to use my fingers just to press in. You can do whatever feels good. You can use your whole palm, just pressing in, down and outside of the arm. And this is working along your triple heater channel. Especially with these days, you know, we're coming in, especially here, like it can be very cold outside, you're coming into a very warm environment. It's often this time where people can either like catch a chill when they're coming from a hot environment to the cold, or the other way around when they're going from the very cold to the very warm. So these points are actually really great for this time of year, this changing time, to really help boost our immune system, keep our protection up, but also support our bodies going from one place to another. And like people have been saying in the chat, you know, things are big and heavy in the world, so also helping to support us to keep functioning so we can support other people. And working down the other side. So triple heater coming down the top of the neck, triple heater 14 and 15 here, coming down, and then I'll show you the side. It's coming into this space here. So if you've got the midline, it's just behind the midline. And just notice if there's any points that feel really good for you. You can spend a little bit more time there. Coming all the way down to the ring finger. Yeah, so we can brush these off, but then also we can do this nice stretch. So first of all, we can stretch our hands out to the side. So in doing this, you're tonifying your heart protector channel. So bring your hands open as far as you can, and as if you're trying to reach each wall. So really opening up this heart space. Just notice how that feels. And then we're going to bring our hands forward and then we're going to cross them over. And reach around as if you're giving yourself a hug. And now we're tonifying the outside of our arms. So we're tonifying this triple heater channel. And it's really nice actually if you close your eyes. And just visualize this sense of protection. This sense of a strong, healthy, fortified boundary. It lets in all the good stuff and it keeps out all the things you don't want. So it really helps your immune system, but also on emotional, mental, spiritual level. Staying centered and nourished. And just remember which arm you have on top. And then we're going to reach out again, opening your chest. Oh, just really feel the stretch across your chest, across your arms. Take some deep breaths. Full stretch. And then whichever arm you had on top last time is going to be the one that's underneath this time. And then stretching. And then creating this hug, this tonifying the outside, these triple heater meridians. And closing your eyes. Taking some deep breaths. Imagining this all levels of protection. Okay, a few more breaths in this position. When you're ready, just bring your hands down beside you. Just do whichever movements feel good. Great. So let me just check with you guys how you're all doing. Just quickly, how do you feel now on these nice points, these heart protector and these triple heater points? How are you doing now? Okay, great. So the majority of people feel more balanced. Wonderful. And if you're feeling the same, then please reach out to us and maybe we can give you some more directed exercises to do. Wonderful. And, you know, these points are really powerful. You know, like creating this space for yourself is also, you know, it's often maybe the first time we've kind of like really checking in with oneself. So if emotions do come up, then kind of give yourself time, give yourself space. And also knowing that connection is so powerful, so important. So reach out to somebody if that feels appropriate for you. Okay, so you want to have a quick look at the slide. Yes, do you mean the triple heater slide? Do you mean this one? So this is the point of the week. Yeah, perfect. So it is just in the midline between the spine and the end of the shoulder, just there. Just one finger behind the top point, this green dot that says 15 on it. Okay, so when you're ready, we're going to come to standing or sitting, whatever feels good, and we're going to check in with all the meridians now. Get into doing some doing. So, give yourself a little shake out if you've been sitting down for all this time. I'm going to start from the top. So, focusing your fingers, we're going to press in across the forehead. Just bring your attention here. Just relaxing the forehead. If you've been frowning at all this week, just giving permission for your forehead to relax and let it go. And squeezing from the inside of the eyebrows to the outside. Again, just giving your face this permission just to let go, to soften. And rubbing from the midline away. And now coming underneath your eyes, the sinuses from the middle, just below your eyes, pressing with your fingers out. You're pressing up down the top of the cheekbone, underneath the cheekbone. Just imagine your sinuses feeling very light and open and free. Imagine there's a lot of space underneath there. Anything that might be in the way or stagnant is being shifted. Just drawing it away, rubbing it away. Good. I'm pressing this point either side of your nose, the base of your nose. This is a really good point as well, just to create space in this area. Take some deep breaths. Good. Brushing away. I'm going to work with the jaw. So from the top, pressing down. So much is held in this space. So just pressing, again, giving permission just to relax and soften. Nothing to hold on to. Let your body know it's safe to let go. Good. And then starting this tapping from the top of your head and on the midline, all the way down to the back of the neck. So working on the midline and then away. Each line coming a little bit further away and working all the way around the ears, down the sides of the neck, closer each time. And then with this, imagine you're squeezing a ball. You're bringing your hands together and just squeezing around the sides of the head. Sometimes you can press quite hard and it'll feel really good. And then with this motion, you can imagine you're lifting up the back of the head, just creating space in your neck. Imagine the back of the head's coming up to the sky. Good, and then you can use one hand and then the other to squeeze down from the top of the head, top of the neck, base of the head, and then all the way down to your vertebrae, the T1. Good, and now squeezing from along the top of the shoulder. So we're going to find that T triple heater 15 again and keep going. And just find what feels good for you in the areas. On both sides. I'm going to do this drilling. I'm going to come working this time up the lung channel, which is near the thumb. So working up the lung channel to the chest, around the back, and working down the outside. And just choosing each time, you can choose a different meridian. You can work this heart protector as we work, just gently into the chest. And work the triple heater on this outside edge. Just whichever feels good for you today. This is your chance to unify all your meridians. And swapping over to the other side, up the inside, across the chest, over the shoulder, and down the back. And we're going to do this another 2 times. So coming up, you can change which line you're working with, into the chest, over the back, and down the arm. Good, brushing them off. Coming back into the chest, making any noises that feel good. Coming down the ribs. Back up the lower back. And then we're going to go down the outside of the legs, the outside seam, and then up the inside seam. And then coming around all the way around to the sacrum. We're going to work from the midline out. So each time I'm going to go around close to the sacrum. And the next time a bit further away. The time after that, even further. And I'm going to come to the front of the hips. These hip flexors here, some attention. And again, close to the sacrum. A bit further away. Even further away, down the sides. And coming to the hip flexors. Last time around the sacrum, really getting into those muscles. So much is held here, so it's really good to spend this time here working what feels good. Okay, this time I'm going to go 2 more times down the legs. This time I'm going to go down the front and then coming up the back. So one time, front of the legs, around the back. This time I'm going to go more like on the inside of the front and then coming up and out the edge. Good. And having a shake off. And while we're here, we are just going to place our hands on the hip flexors here and just check in, just notice, is there any holding here? You can close your eyes if it feels comfortable, or just lower your gaze. And just notice if is holding, and breathe into this area. And imagine you're just letting go, like even if it's just 1%, just letting go one little bit, or a lot if that feels good. Nice. Okay, so I'm going to come down to the floor. I'm going to work on these feet. Let's give these feet some attention. Working the base of your foot. This lovely point, this kidney 1 point, helps us ground, helps us feel connected to the earth. It's always lovely to work. Working the ball of your foot, stretching all your toes, great space there around your heel. And then the front of your foot, give it a massage in between your toes. Good. And then swapping over. Again, working the front, the pads of your foot, kidney 1, this opening up to the earth. If you notice any tension, just taking your focus there. Creating space in the toes. Working around the heel. And then working the front of the foot. Working between your toes. Very nice. So now we've worked from top to toe. We have got a little bit of time, and we are just going to do a little bit of breath work together. Again, it's really good at helping calm the nervous system, really good at regulating your hormones, regulating your emotions, creating space. So we're just going to do some gentle breath work. Let me just see if you can come up a little bit higher so you can see me. That's better. Okay, so just come into a really comfortable position. You can do this lying, seated, or standing. And if you like, you can close your eyes, or you just lower your gaze. And in this position, just imagine your hips are softening, your knees are softening, your ankles, everything very relaxed. And then lifting up your head towards the sky, just noticing the space in between your vertebrae. Your sacrum sinks down and your head lifts up. Good. So I'll just talk you through this breath. We're going to place your hands over your navel. And here you're going to breathe into your lower abdomen. So taking deep breaths into your lower abdomen and feel your hands being pushed away with each inhale. Imagine this whole space is it's expanding like a balloon. Expanding on the inhale and then contracting on the exhale. And then bring your hands to sides of your ribs. And like we were doing earlier, as you breathe in, your hands are being pushed away. And as you relax, your hands settle back. So this real feeling of opening and closing with your rib cage. Now we're going to do the same with our hands on the top of the chest. So full deep inhales, bringing your breath all the way to the top of your chest. And I love this, and I know I've said it before, but it just reminds your body that so much is available to you. All this abundance of energy that's all around you all the time is always available to you. So taking these full deep breaths, really energizing your body, nourishing your blood with this oxygen. And also these full breaths lets your body know it's safe to breathe. It's safe to let go. It's safe to be in your body. And now just bring your hands wherever feels comfortable. We're going to breathe into all these three spaces at the same time. So breathing into your lower belly, sides of your ribs, and the top of your chest, all at the same time. So it's like this expansive balloon as you breathe in, and then as you breathe out, it relaxes back. So just doing this for a few minutes. Full deep breaths in, and full breaths out. As you're bringing more oxygen into your body, there's going to be a shift. So sometimes you feel a bit lightheaded or tingly, and that's really normal. So just make sure you're lying down or sitting down while you're doing this practice. As soon as you stop, that feeling will also end, so don't worry. What can also happen when you're doing these full breaths is as you start to become more present and more in your body, then sometimes you start to feel your emotions more. So you might feel more tearful or more angry or more fearful in these moments, but it's completely normal. It's just like you're coming into your body. So if you can give yourself this little bit of space, this little time just to feel, and then a bit of time afterwards to relax, I think you'll notice you'll feel much more calmer in general, because you won't be trying to keep these feelings at bay. When we're trying to keep these feelings at bay, then it's like there's always this tension in the body. So as we just allow our bodies to feel, allow this breath to come into your body, to nourish your body. If things come up for you, that's okay. Just allow them, but focus on your breath. Sometimes our mind wants to take us off, wants to distract us, or wants to get into the story of the emotion. We're just going to stay with your breath. Bring your attention back to your breath. These full inhales and full exhales. Enjoying this gift, this breath. And if you feel comfortable doing that, you can start to connect these breaths. So instead of having a pause on the inhale and the exhale, if you feel comfortable as you are, you can take the next step of connecting your breaths. So when you breathe in, you're going to merge this inhale into the exhale. And then as soon as you finish the exhale, you're going to take an inhale. So you're going to keep the breath. You're either breathing in or breathing out. You're never pausing. So it's called this circular breathing. I'm not holding. Just breathing in and out, this smooth breath. Good. And now just coming back into your own natural breathing rhythm. Just letting it go, letting the circular breath go. And you'll notice if you did feel a bit lightheaded, you'll start to feel that will start to dissipate. And if any thoughts came up for you in that, it's quite a nice time now, if you have time to journal, to get them off your chest or to share them with somebody else. And just allow your body to relax, to come back to this neutral space, this feeling of calm. And now for this last moment, just have a stretch, whichever feels good, whichever way your body wants to. Now that you're super tuned in, everything's moving, everything's buzzing. Just work out what feels nice for you in these last moments. And thank you so much for joining us this morning. And I love this slide that Cliff made, so I'm going to pop that up there to finish. Thank you for joining us on this amazing journey. 200 classes in and we're still going, so thank you. And that's all because you guys show up each week. So thank you so much for joining us. Such a pleasure to spend our Wednesday mornings with you. You can pop a heart in the chat. And please do not hesitate to get in touch. It's admin@shiatsucenter.co.uk, or reach out to your therapist if you want any more support or more, or having a bit more directed exercises for you. We're here if you need anything. Oh, thank you for all the comments and all the hearts. Thank you. So have an amazing week, and we will be back next week. So we're going to focus this next month on this fire element with the triple heat and the heart protector. So we'll just bring more points, more information about this. Yeah, so Jane, that's really normal. In your comment, you said you felt comfortable to breathe into the belly and the ribs, but actually breathing into the upper chest like a buried panic. And absolutely, like, it's really normal. Like, our bodies are, you know, are always carrying memories and things. So I really like, if this practice feels good for you, then doing this circular breathing, you might want to find a practitioner, like locally, or work online with somebody, because actually it's really great, because once it's out, like we know, better out than in, then you know, so much freedom, so much space in one's body. So definitely, you know, have a go working through with yourself, but if you do need any help, just reach out. So I'm going to end the class here.